been some interesting stuff surrounding Nintendo recently, and I feel it is now time that I address some of it. Nintendo has been a major talking point for many folks recently, and for good reason. Not only are we getting some crazy heavy hitter titles like Super Mario Bros. Wonder coming out here soon, but also some more games on the horizon to look forward to. Couple that in with the fact that the Switch is almost 7 years old, it feels like there should be some new hardware around the corner as well. So, in popular YouTube fashion, I am going to give my thoughts and opinions on what's next for Nintendo, and of course, there will be a hefty amount of speculation, so buckle up. First, I want to talk about the rest of our current Switch's life. This section will mainly focus on games as new Switch hardware is not likely aside from the Mario Red Switch OLED releasing in October. As for games, there's not too much to talk about either. Within the last months of 2023, the big first-party games are Detective Pikachu Returns, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, WarioWare Move It, and Super Mario RPG, while third-party is also pretty solid with the Batman Arkham Trilogy, Sonic Superstars, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, Hogwarts Legacy, and Persona 5 Tactica. In my opinion, the rest of 2023 looks pretty stacked for the Switch. It also looks like Nintendo wants to give the Switch one last holiday season to push some units. 2024, however, is where things will get more interesting. Sticking with the Switch, we know that Nintendo has a few fairly big releases planned for this coming year. Note, while talking about 2024, I'm going to mainly focus on first-party titles just because third-party will keep making games until the system dies. So, to save myself some sanity, I have made the choice to omit third-party stuff. The only two first-party games with release dates are the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake and Princess Peach Showtime. Both are releasing within the first half of the year. The last two first-party games without release dates are Luigi's Mansion 2 HD and the Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door remake. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD has a summer 2024 release window, so I'm gonna bet late June or early July for that one. Paper Mario, however, has no specific window, just 2024, which makes me think that Paper Mario will have a September release. That's all fine and dandy, but excluding third parties, the calendar is looking kinda barren. And where's our big holiday title? Well, just sit back and let me explain. I'm gonna bet that 2024 is not gonna be a Nintendo Direct filled year. I think that we will get a late February, early March Direct filled with mostly third-party games with a few smaller first-party titles sprinkled in. Probably more remasters like Metroid Prime Remastered and Pikmin 1+2. They'll also have to finish filling out the NSO, N64, and GBA games. Then, in the summer months, we'll get either an Indie World or Partner Showcase. And that will be it for Nintendo Directs in 2024. But before you attack me in the comments saying I've been clickbaiting you, let's get to the real meat and potatoes of this video. A quick warning before we begin, this next portion of the video will be heavily focused on rumors and leaks. Nothing is certain, and as such, all this info should be taken with a grain of salt. Now, where were we? Yes. A next-gen console. It is all but common knowledge now that Nintendo has been working on and showing off their next system. Now, I won't get into crazy detailed specs, but rumor has it that this thing is going to be quite the upgrade. Rumor has it that this Switch 2 will be about as powerful as the PS4 and Xbox One, which, while it's not technically next-gen, many games have still been making their way to these older systems, so we'll let it slide. It was also rumored that behind closed doors, Nintendo has a spec'd out version of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, front-running the Switch 2's new power, as well as it being able to run Epic Games' The Matrix Awakens tech demo for Unreal Engine 5, with capabilities like ray tracing and AI-driven visual upscaling tricks enabled. So yeah, pretty beefy. Unfortunately, the going theory around specs is that it's most likely won't be able to output native 4K, but a simulated version of it using DLSS technology. The screen for the portable has also been rumored to revert back to using LCDs instead of OLEDs to keep costs down. Which, of course, I understand, but going from an OLED Switch to whatever the next console with an LCD won't be very fun. And if you haven't caught it by now, they will be sticking with the handheld hybrid format. Also, according to leaks, the Switch 2 will be backwards compatible with regular Switch games, so that'll be a nice bonus. My hope is that the Switch 2 will give old Switch games a boost in performance. The controllers will also be improved, as the new controllers are rumored to use Hall effect joysticks, which would completely eliminate drift through the use of magnets. Next, I want to go back to the schedule. Remember how I said there would be a lack of directs in 2024? Well, that's because directs would get in the way of the next console's marketing strategy. My prediction is that in June or July, we will get a reveal trailer for the next console. This trailer would drop either before or after Luigi's Mansion 2 HD releases. I'm expecting the next console's marketing strategy to be very similar to the Switch's. After the teaser, we will be left to sit and wait until September. In place of a direct, my hope is that we'll get a full-on, live, in-depth presentation much like we got with the Switch. The event will probably be after the release of Paper Mario. At this event, everything will be announced, including hardware, specs, and games, as well as a price, which has been rumored to be at $400 US. It was also rumored that Nintendo is targeting a holiday 2024 release date, so I'd imagine mid-November, definitely before Black Friday. As for games, we really don't have much to go off of. Like I said earlier, it's rumored the system will be backwards compatible, so it at least has that going for it. I believe that due to the increased popularity of the Metroid franchise through Dread and Prime Remastered, that Metroid Prime 4 will be a launch title as well as launching on the Switch, kinda like with Breath of the Wild. It is also rumored that Square Enix has a version of Final Fantasy VII Remake up and running on the console, and it performs just as well as the PS5 counterpart. Maybe it'll launch with the system, but I could also see it being 1 or 2 months down the road. A Pokemon game at launch would drive up sales fast, so I could see either a Gold and Silver remake or Black and White remakes. It's also been heavily rumored that the Odyssey team is working on a new Donkey Kong game. Given the dev team behind it, I would imagine it's a 3D DK game. That's really all I got for games. I know it's kinda underwhelming, but I'm really banking on Nintendo announcing a bunch of heavy hitters at their live presentation. That's pretty much it for now. Like I mentioned earlier, this is all just rumors, leaks, and speculation, and obviously I had to sift through some of the unreputable kind of stuff. As we all know, the folks at Nintendo are masters of surprises, so they could whip out something crazy within the next 2 weeks and make this video completely irrelevant. Please don't do that. As it stands, I'm really hyped for this next system. It sounds like everything I love about the Switch, just better. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. If you think this stuff is legit or a bunch of bull, I want to hear your predictions. Also, I would so appreciate if you'd subscribe if you're not already. We're almost to 400 subs, and it would be amazing if y'all could help boost that number up. It's free, and you can always unsub later. Well, that's it for my YouTube spiel. As always, I've been King from Kingdom Studios, and I hope you all have a legendary rest of your day.
What you gon' do? What you gon' do? You like what I'm written by someone but you. What you gon' do? What you gon' do? Stand up and fight you.